depending where you are. Konnichiwa, konbanwa. Konnichiwa, of course, is the standard hello. More specifically, it's today, but mostly used as good afternoon. Whereas konbanwa would be good evening. So I'm sure that would be the appropriate greeting in some parts of the world where people might be watching this. Anyway, today is fine, fine weather. Blue sky, and the cherry trees should be sorry about that. I got a notice on my phone that surprised me. The cherry trees are still in near peak condition. Most of them are. If I turn this around here, take a look at the trees across the street there, you can see that actually they're far past their peak. They've lost quite a few of the blossoms that were there at the prime time. Hopefully, there's a place I'm going to go today. Again, near my university, I've talked about it before. It's behind the university on the banks of that same small stream. So it's very similar to the place that I went to most often that had the nice bridge. Well, this one also has the same type of setup. It's got trees, cherry trees, along both banks of the stream, and there are a couple of bridges spanning that stream that give you a good view of the cherry blossoms. So we'll take a look at that. Also, get a chance to see that park that I've referenced a couple of times as it's on the way. We'll see what there is to see there. The cherry trees. The cherry trees are not the prime example of the sakura that we see in some other places, but perhaps, no, they're still less than idyllic. Less than the ideal. Okay, so we're about to try and cross this street. There shouldn't be too much traffic here today. And we'll see what we're going to do here. I'm going to slow down. You don't really know what they're going to do. All right, so let's see. The cherry tree, yeah, this one is past its prime here. This is a nice little park. Well, that tree, I don't know what kind of tree it is, but it is possibly dead. But anyway, here are the cherry trees. And this is the wisteria that is leaving. And not quite the prime condition of the other trees we've seen. So let's see what we can see here. All right, so we're coming up to the back of the university. And lots of apartments here, many occupied by students, but there are also lots of families in these apartments as well. And there's a building that houses many of the clubs, the university clubs. Let's see, what do we got here? Some karate club, Kaigishitsu. Doesn't say which club that is. Bunka, the culture club. Culture club. Oh, Natsukashi. There's the photography club. Baseball boys practicing. That's good to see. Makes things feel a little more normal to have the baseball boys practicing. Perhaps in the distance, you might be able to make out the cherry trees in the front. The closer I get, though, the more skeptical I am. I think perhaps yesterday might have been the peak. But we shall see. We're not to the actual stream lined with cherry trees yet. You can start to see in the distance there, you can start to see some of the cherry trees. I have soccer to the left of me, baseball to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Who is that? Steelers wheel? What's going on here? Why do I not see any comments? Is it because no one has written any comments? Or am I doing something wrong? Anyway, here are the cherry trees. Notice that these are not necessarily so much smaller. They are slightly smaller, but they're also farther down on the bank. So we get right up into them. Oh, now these, many of them have not bloomed yet. So we're actually before the peak here. Interesting. Just on the other side of campus, and the timing of the blossoms is significantly different. Yeah, you can see a large number of the blossoms are not open yet. But it could be that no one is watching this. I mean, I seem to be like, oh, 3 people have peeked, taken a peek one way or another. Perhaps no one has written a comment, and that's why I don't see them. That would make sense. All right, so now here, this tree is further along. It's, 90% or better. Yeah, there's still branches that are not fully blossomed, fully open. Here's one of the bridges. This is not the best one, but we'll take a look here. Take a look here, right? So you can see all the way, almost as far as the eye can see, we've got cherry trees lining the banks here. Again, the same type of problem. There's not a lot. This actually has a little bit more area. There's a little bit more area here for people to have a picnic. There are spaces between the trees. So these trees are slightly smaller, and like I said, the timing is a little different here. Is it a different variety? I don't think so. Perhaps just because they're younger, they're blooming slightly later. Well, let's see, yeah. These trees definitely are not fully blooming yet. The blooms are not completely open, but it is nice. There's, again, a little bit too steep for along most of this. There's a place for couples to sit. Families and large groups would be uncomfortable. There are a couple of places. I don't know if you can see that over there. There's a wider spot on the ground that would accommodate. And then down here, that's still a little too steep to sit comfortably. Oh, some of these trees are just not blooming yet. Well under 50%, only about 10% open. And here the cascading, the tree, the branches hanging down, which is a look that I particularly like. And so the area covered by the cherry trees here in this area is significantly larger than the previous place that I showed in my broadcasts several times. But the density of the trees, now here we're getting close to what we see on the other side of campus. We've got tree, 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 and across the way here, tree, tree. But again, these are not quite open yet. Interesting. So we can enjoy the maximum blossoms on the front side of the campus and then come around here a couple of days later and enjoy the blossoms on this side. Now this tree is more or less fully open. It's not quite though. No, it's not. Huh. There you can see all the way down the stream there with, again, the cherry trees on each side of the stream. A little bit of water. We've had some. And if we look this way, we'll see cherry trees here also. So pretty nice. Oh, friendly neighborhood police officers. Well, police car. All right. What time is it going to be? 10:15, something like that. Really not quite fully open yet. And as you can see, it is quite a long string of trees along both sides of the stream. And there's a cherry tree, a couple of cherry trees at the nursery school. Wisteria. What? This is quite early for it to be this far along. And another little park with some cherry trees over here. Now, this is a cherry tree loving area, isn't it? These trees are near peak, but not 100% yet. Several trees around here. And see, elderly people enjoying a game of gate ball or ground golf. I'm not sure. It used to always be called gate ball, but this might be a variation called ground golf. I'm not sure. I'm not that far from retirement, so I have to start learning these things. Is it gate ball or ground golf? Okay, let's head back. There are leaves coming out on that tree. Interesting how far. I mean, they're not always in perfect unison, but there seems to be a little more variation among. Seems to be a little more variation among the degree of blossoming. Here we are at the high school. The high school, which is attached to my university, coming in the back way here. Got a wall around it. They don't want the kids to escape. They don't want questionable people coming onto campus other than through the designated entrances, I guess. Maybe that's it. More apartments. Okay. So this, oh, there we've got the high school kids, I believe, on the soccer, playing soccer there. This is the high school. Quite an impressive stairway going up there to the first building. Lots of bicycle parking for the students. The cherry trees are over on the other side of the soccer field. Could have walked that way, but I'm wanting to get to my office. I have a few things to do before my next broadcast, which I'm going to do. I'm going to try and play the Friendly Feud game again. Yesterday, played 2 games of Friendly Feud. Our treasure Takara won the inaugural game, demonstrating that she's not just an expert in American trivia, but also has her finger on the pulse of the common man too, being able to guess the most popular answers in the typical feud question style. Our survey says, and so on. And this tree is blooming nicely, quite nicely. Again, only about 80% though. And there is the shared gymnasium, large gymnasium, of course, for basketball games and so on, but that's also where ceremonies such as graduation, which we had last Friday, and where our entrance ceremony will be conducted. And as I said, so this is the university now. So, whoop, what did I do? I touched something. This is me now. There's the university. This is the university coming in from the other side. Front gate that's shared by both the high school and the university. So that's the way that works. All right, we'll come this way because I can swing by and check my mailbox on my way to my office. I've only been broadcasting for about 25 minutes. Bicycles, cars and bicycles, yes. Looks like a school. Another small cherry tree right ahead of us there. Okay, let's see. There's a map of the school grounds. Oh, that cherry tree, yeah, that cherry tree, again, it's the pink type, so you can just see a tinge of pink there, the one in the center, clear up there. Basically, the cherry blossoms have all fallen and the leaves are coming in quite a lot now. And yet there are other trees that have not even reached the 50% point in the blossoms opening. So like I said, this is a little more staggered than usual, but that's good because it's a broader range of opportunities to enjoy the cherry blossoms. So I'm going to go inside, check my mailbox, and see what's happening. So thanks for watching. I'll be back in about half an hour for my Friendly Feud game. Take care and goodbye.